Yeah, because of stomping on them bitter ones.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back once again to Vicious Rants in the Crossing. Who should you to the sound of an imitator? Never duplicate us. Superstar Tim Vision. Gonna go over Raw this week was in OKC, Oklahoma City in Oklahoma. Before we do, gotta say this is a very special episode because this is the 10-year episide. You know, I'm not even gonna lie. Wow, what the fuck, man. I never would have thought 10 years ago just doing this because I had a lot of shit on my mind. I had no real constructive way of putting it out there except doing this. And just starting with a cell phone and wanting to just go and scream out where I saw problems could evolve into this. And from the bottom of my cold, black, evil heart to everyone that has ever watched this show, whether you absolutely loved it or you absolutely hated it, the fact that you took the time to listen and sit there and hear a madman with a camera screaming yell for 20 to 30 odd minutes on end about pro wrestling of all things. Thank you. So with that said, now that I'm done doing all the glorifying ass kissing, which trust me, if you want me to do more of it, I will be glad to. We can make that a special episode. Just tell me down below. But let's get back on track before we go and talk about Raw. We're going to switch gears and talk about last week via the SmackDown Rewind and the big highlights from last week's SmackDown. Well, it started out with John Cena coming out, addressing the crowd, hyping the crowd up, and then out comes Roman Reigns. Roman asks the crowd to acknowledge him, and then John Cena, like something out of an M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong movie. With a twist, John actually acknowledges Roman. He acknowledges Roman. 3 years on top, 3 years as champ, over 1,000 something days as champ. I tip my hat to you, good sir. Now I'll tell you right now, I want a title shot. But I also say this, I am nowhere. I have not earned it. I will earn that shot though eventually. But until then, I know somebody that has. And then we hear the music for L.A. Knight. Yeah! Dummy! Yeah! Let me talk to you. Well, L.A. Knight came out. The crowd went banana! And wow. Yeah, wow. That's all I can say. Wow. Roman and Knight had a stare down. Roman basically looked at him like, who is this guy? Really? Who are you? Who are you to think you can step up to me? And then Knight stepping back. Now, while you've been on and off like a damn light switch, I've been here rocking this place day in and day out, making sure everybody knows my name. So, yeah. Then, fast forward to the end of the show, LA Knight had a match with Solo Sikoa. During the show, though, they officially announced it's going to be LA Knight versus Roman at Crown Jewel for the title, which I'm all for. However, I'm going to say this, and I mean this in the nicest way, so it's not insultive. I do not see LA Knight being the guy to dethrone Roman. I'm looking at Roman's title reign almost in the same kind of way as when Samoa Joe was running white hot in TNA. In the sense of, do we feel like it's time to pull the trigger on it? Because honestly, I still see some mileage out of it. You know? Roman is in that echelon where he doesn't need to be on every week. You know, if he's on there every week, then we're going to be like, oh God, just end it already. But we don't need it. You know, I honestly, I do not see that. I see Roman in that echelon of, well, he's an attraction piece. Let's make him an attraction. Let's make people have to draw. Let's make people want him to be there to answer people, to answer challenges. You know, things like that. So, other than that, other highlights from SmackDown. We saw the return of Pretty Deadly, yes boy, going against the Brawling Brutes. Pretty Deadly got the win, yay. And granted, yeah, it was because of cheating, but heaven forbid, bad guys do bad guy things to get a win, right? We also saw Bayley have a match against Zelina Vega, and this came to be because her and Damage Control were mocking the LWO because Carlito got a sneak attack done on him while he was in the middle of an interview from Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. While they were doing that, Zelina got all hot at them, and then Pierce stepped in and said, hey, listen, I'd love to handle this situation right now, but I'm already in the middle of this. Tell you what, how about you and you take your problems out into that ring and we'll settle, and you guys can settle it there. Okay? We'll make it official. So, there we go. Decent match. Bayley got the win. Excuse me. And then we saw Triple H come out. We saw the God King Triple H come out to address the crowd, talking about on how for the past 3 to 4 years, Adam Pearce has been the glue holding both Raw and SmackDown together backstage, thanking him for all of his hard work, and then telling us all Adam Pearce is getting a much-deserved promotion and is now going to be the official Raw GM, and then introducing us to the new SmackDown General Manager, one Mr. Nick Aldis. So, way cool. Congrats on that, because not only is Nick doing backstage, working as a producer or an agent, whatever it is, he's also getting an on-screen character. And, you know, say what you want about Nick Aldis, but the dude, not only is he built like a fucking Greek god, the dude dresses to the gills, man. He makes a suit man wish they could be a suit man with on how sharp he dresses. So it's, yeah. That's the best I can put it. He makes the sharpest, well-dressed man wish they could dress that sharp with his suit game. And I'm hoping that it's not just an on-screen. Again, say this the right way, because I know what I'm thinking. I know he's a producer, but maybe I'm a little selfish, and maybe it's fantasy booking, armchair quarterbacking, however you want to phrase it, but I'd like to see him have 1 or 2 matches in, just so that way he could say, oh, well, you know, saw him compete in the WWE ring, you know, but again, that's just my personal one. Whatever works for him, whatever makes him happy, cool. Excuse me. We also saw Cody and Jay defend the tag titles against... Oh, well, before we go into that match, do also need to address. Nick Aldis did officially confirm that the trade for Jey Uso going to Raw, in Jay's place, SmackDown officially got one Kevin Owens. So yeah, it's kind of a bittersweet, kind of a unsettled, kind of like a yay question mark for that one, because as happy as I am Kevin Owens, because I'm a huge Kevin Owens fan, at the same time I'm like, oh, fuck fuck, now we don't have Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn as a tag team anymore. Fuck! So, yeah. Fuck. Shit, fuck. So, now back to what I was saying. We had Cody and Jay defending the tag titles against Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. Decent match. Cody and Uso got the win. No shocker. And probably the biggest takeaway from that was post-match, you know, before the solo LA Knight match, you saw Cody have an epic stare down with Roman, and then Nick Aldis getting in between them like, whoa, we're not doing this now. We're not doing this now. Come on. So it's just like, whoa, okay, cool. So, you know, I'm definitely all for Cody Roman too. So, with that said, now let's get into this week's show. Raw OKC. It starts out with Ole Sami Zayn. Sami comes out addressing, you know, Kevin being traded. Like, you know, it's bittersweet because I don't have my buddy with me now. But I do get a chance to go on my own, which I felt like I can do for the longest time. And for the first time in a long time, I feel I can show the world that Sami Zayn is a world heavyweight champion contender, which was way cool to see. And then out came the Judgment Day to go and start throwing down some smack talk onto Sami. And then they started to circle Sami. And then out came Jey Uso with a chair. And then they're like, alright, you know what? Nah, we ain't needing to do this. We got ourselves, our books are full tonight. See y'all later. And then you see a backstage segment with Jay and Sami like, Sami, dog, my dog, what's up, man? What's wrong? And Sami just like, you know, I want to be, don't get me wrong, I'm thankful and I'm thankful that you helped me out there. I am. But I can't look at you and not think my best friend got traded for you. I want to be happy for him. I am happy for him. I want to be happy for you. I am happy for you. But I can't right now. And Sami, he looked seriously like he was emotionally torn. And then after a minute or two, then went over to Jay. Was like, listen, we're cool, man. We're cool. All right? Yeet. And that was it. So, first match of the night, Ricochet versus Shinsuke Nakamura in a Falls Count Anywhere match. And this was a damn good match. Had a nice good start with Ricochet getting all sorts of hot right at the start, going after Nakamura. Nakamura, though, he was leading the pace. I gotta tell you, probably one of the crazy holy shit moment had to be Ricochet doing a shooting star off the stairwell in the fans, where the fans are. It was kind of like a New Jack spot, but instead of just diving like, no, he just went and did shooting star, boom. Like, I'm sorry, just my lower back and my tailbone cringed because all I could think is, if nobody caught me, man, my back would be screaming in pain. Like, and also part of me is thinking, the second I catch that motherfucker, my back's gonna be hurting. So yeah, but it was a decent match. I dug it. Match came to an end when Nakamura wound up tossing Ricochet off the top rope, and Ricochet landed onto a table that was rigged on the outside. And then after that, he then lined him up, and then boom, hit him with the Kinshasa, 1, 2, 3. So your winner, Shinsuke Nakamura. Next up, we have Piper Niven going against Natayla, and Piper was leading, pretty much powering over Natty. I mean, she got a few shots in post-commercial break, but it it was what you would expect. Piper Niven got the win. Pretty much doing like a basement splash onto her post-match. It was her and Chelsea were doing a bit of a beatdown on Natalya, and then Tegan Nox came out to save her. And don't get me wrong, I'm happy to see Tegan getting as much TV time as possible. I'm just not a fan of Natalya. And it's nothing personal, and it's not like, oh, she's just a horrible person, or she gypped me from an autograph, or this, that, and the other. No, it's just, dude, no. It's not that at all. It just doesn't click, like the character. Like, I'm like, okay, you work great in the ring. You're a hell of a performer. It just, personality-wise, bland as the paint on a wall behind me. Just, ugh. Yeah. But either way. Next up, we got Ludwig Kaiser going against Johnny Gargano. Excuse me. It's that time of year. Allergies are acting up and I'm getting a bit post-nasal, so throat gets a little scratchy and dry sometimes. Ludwig Kaiser versus Johnny Gargano. Decent match, really nice pace and flow in it. Ludwig, he was leading into the break. Johnny built up a comeback post-break. Really dug it, especially on how they showed with last week. Johnny and Tommaso, they were doing an interview, and then Imperium did a sneak attack on them, and then pretty much taking Ciampa out of the equation for this week. And Ludwig got the win when Johnny, he got distracted by Giovanni, pretty much face planted him, by like smashing his head against the commentator's table. And then Ludwig hit him with, I've been trying to think of the best way to describe it, but it looks like almost kind of like a spinning, like a swirling DDT. Like he spun him around, like he had him like arched back like this, like he was going for a crossroads, and then swung him around, and then boom, dropped him like it was a regular DDT. Like, oh fuck. Next week, though, Gunther wound up talking to Ludwig and Gio later on, saying that, now that next week he wants Johnny Gargano taken care of, and he wants him leaving this building in a stretcher. And if the job's not finished, then Ludwig, that responsibility falls on you. So we're going to have Giovanni versus Gargano next week. Next matchup, we got Rhea Ripley versus Shayna Baszler. Okay. Yeah, Rhea Ripley. Whew. Okay, cool stuff. Took my heart pills before this match. I took some extra heart pills before we started recording. So I'm good. Wow. Shayna, she started grounding Rhea early on, working on her arm. Rhea, once she got her bearings and started to figure out on how Shayna was working, then she started picking up the pace and starting to get some control. Match came to an end though via a disqualification, because as it looked like Shayna was about to get the win when she had an cross armbar in, easy for me to say. Nia Jax came down, and as she got up on the apron, Raquel came out, started slugging at her, them two started going at it, and then Zoe Stark showed up out of nowhere, started swinging at both girls, and then Nia threw Zoe into the ring. And then Zoe, as she's in the corner just trying to get her bearings, Rhea comes doing a running charge, and then Zoe, boom, puts her foot up, hits her, so the ref calls for a bell for a disqualification, and then it turns into a 5-girl free-for-all, and then then Rhea goes into Pierce's office, starts yelling at him about all that bullshit going on, and then Pierce then says, at Crown Jewel, you'll defend that Women's World Heavyweight Championship against all of them in a fatal 5-way. So we're going to have Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax versus Shayna Baszler versus Raquel Rodriguez versus Zoe Stark in a Fatal 5-Way. I can dig it. Next up, we had Big Bad Bronson Reed going against Gunther for his Intercontinental Championship. And, well, cue the Big E quote now, because we got two big meaty men slapping meat. We got, you can have your 60-minute Broadways. You can have your 5-star Tokyo Dome matches. What we got right here is two big old meaty men slapping meat. And good God, this did not disappoint. This really was two big meaty men slapping meat. This was a big hoss fight. No doubt on it. Good back and forth, just both guys like, oh, you think you can take me down? Well, watch this. Boom. Oh, you think you hurt me? Well, look at this. Boom. Just like, oh, damn. This was a damn good match. I fucking loved it. If you're going to go and watch any match on Raw this week, highly suggest going and watching this one. Match came to an end when Gunther wound up when Bronson Reed went for the tsunami, did not hit. Gunther then capitalized, wound up moving out, wound up then doing a splash on that. Damn it, get your words right. Gunther then did a splash onto Reed and then powerbombed him 1, 2, 3. So you're a winner and still WWE Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion Gunther. And length of the title reign aside, just looking at the caliber of matches Gunther has had defending the Intercontinental Championship, that alone should put him in the ranks for legacy. So now we come to main event of the night. Damian Priest and Finn Balor going against Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes for the Undisputed Tag Team Championships. And Jey and Cody, they were leading early on with Judgment Day leading into the break. Jey wound up getting a hot tag post-break. And then it was a decent match, had a nice flow with it. You had the normal bedlam and mayhem that came along with after you get a hot tag. Cody came in for a minute, then Jey back in. Probably the biggest shocker, like, whoa, what the fuck, was, excuse me, at one point, Priest actually kicked out of that 1D cutter that they've been doing for their finisher. Like, oh, well, damn. That was quick. I wasn't expecting somebody to be able to kick out of that finisher this soon into the team. But it made sense because as the match progressed, Jey, he was leading. Now, Cody got taken out by getting a South Side of Heaven chokeslam onto the commentator's table on the outside. So Cody's out. So Jey, while he's working on Finn, boom, pops a spear onto Finn, takes him down. And then Jey, boom, pops a spear on the Priest, takes him down. So then Jey, he's getting ready to go up. Do the splash. And as he's doing that, Dominic Mysterio distracting the ref. Jimmy Uso, out of nowhere, boom, pops a super kick onto Jey. Throws him in. Finn then capitalizes, sets him up, hits the coup de grace. 1, 2, 3. So your winner and new tag team champions once again, Damian Priest and Finn Balor. All the while, Jimmy Uso just looking like, what you get, boy? Because Roman told Jimmy before, your brother's coming to our show with those titles. That's an insult to our family. You got to take care of this. So, message sent. It's been taken care of. And with that said, folks, that is it for this week's show. So please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch some of the episodes when you can. We got 10 years worth of archives now. I never thought I'd ever say that. Thank you to my executive producer, Ollie Ray Ben, who did provide the music for this week's show. Make sure y'all check it out. It's on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud, all that good shiznit. Details are down below. Thank you to LFC Lingerie Fighting Championship. There are a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of MMA, and a whole lot of attractive women wearing a little bit of nothing. Also, LFC is on Tubi, so it costs $0 to help support them. Just like what watching this show helps support it. But if you do want to throw some bucks our way, go to whatamaneuver.net and get some Vicious Rants apparel. We got t-shirts, hoodies, tanks, women's shirts, unisex shirts, toddlers shirts, and onesies. Perfect gifts for people that you love, people that you hate, or gifts that you just want to go and give to Goodwill. It's that perfect time of year, and I do got a teenage son at home, so this does help support. So profits on that do help support with him. Plus, we got the holidays coming up, so need to get some gifts for him too. And folks, like I always say, y'all, you love me great, you hate me. 10 years straight, been telling you this. You love me great, you hate me. Fuck yes.